Let me ask you something. If I handed you $1,000 right now and told you to invest it, where would you put it? Would you rush into stocks, buy some crypto, hide it in a savings account because you're terrified of losing it? If you're like most beginners, that money would probably sit in your checking account while you think about it for months. And then, before you know it, half of it's gone, spent on takeout, a new pair of shoes, or a gadget you barely use. I get it. $1,000 feels like both a lot and not enough. It feels like too little to change your life, yet too much to risk losing. And that's why so many people freeze. They do nothing. But here's the truth. What you do with your first $1,000 matters way more than you think. It's not about the dollar amount. It's about building habits, confidence, and momentum. It's about setting the stage for a lifetime of smart money moves. So let's talk about it. I'll walk you through exactly how to invest your first $1,000 step by step. And I'll sprinkle in stories of real people who started small and grew big. So this doesn't feel like some dry financial lecture. Ready? Let's dive in. Step 1. Pause and build your foundation. Before we talk about where to put your $1,000, we need to talk about your foundation. Imagine trying to build a house without a solid base. It wouldn't matter how fancy the walls or roof were, it'd crumble. Your money works the same way. Here's the checklist. 1. Emergency fund. Do you have at least $500 to $1,000 set aside for unexpected expenses, car repairs, medical bills, surprise vet visits? If not, that should be your first move. Put it in a simple savings account. This isn't about returns. It's about peace of mind. 2. High-interest debt. Do you have credit card debt charging you 20% interest? If yes, paying it down is technically the best investment you can make. Why? Because eliminating that interest is like earning a guaranteed return. Once that's covered, or at least in progress, your $1,000 is ready to work. Step 2. Decide your goal. Money without a purpose tends to wander. So before you invest, ask yourself, am I investing for the short term, 1 to 3 years? Am I investing for the long term, 5+ years? Am I building wealth for retirement? Why does this matter? Because your timeline dictates your risk level. If you need the money in a year, the stock market is too risky. If you're thinking decades, risk becomes your friend. Let me tell you about Rachel. She got a $1,000 work bonus. At first, she wanted to throw it all into the hottest stock her coworker recommended. But her actual goal was saving for grad school in 2 years. Stocks were too volatile for that. Instead, she parked her money in a high-yield savings account. Boring? Yes. Smart? Absolutely. On the flip side, my friend Alex invested his first $1,000 into a broad stock market index fund when he was 24. He left it untouched. 10 years later, it had nearly doubled. Same amount of money, 2 different goals, 2 different smart choices. Step 3. The power of simple investments. When most people think of investing, they imagine complicated charts, stock picking, or guessing which crypto coin will go to the moon. But here's a secret. Wealth is usually built with boring, simple tools. Here are the 3 easiest ways to start with $1,000. 1. Index funds and ETFs. Think of these like baskets of hundreds of companies. Instead of betting on one stock, you own tiny pieces of many. The S&P 500, for example, has 500 of the biggest US companies. Historically, it's returned around 7 to 10% annually over the long term. Story time. My cousin started with $1,000 in an S&P 500 ETF in 2010. He didn't touch it. Today, it's worth about $3,600. He didn't need to be a genius. He just let time and compounding do the heavy lifting. 2. Robo-Advisors. If you don't want to research or choose funds yourself, Robo-Advisors like Betterment or Wealthfront do it for you. You answer a few questions about your goals, they pick the investments, and your $1,000 gets automatically diversified. Think of it as autopilot investing. 3. Retirement accounts. IRA or Roth IRA. If you're thinking long-term, Put your first $1,000 into an IRA. A Roth IRA is especially powerful. You invest with after-tax dollars and your growth is tax-free. That means if your $1,000 grows into $50,000, you don't owe Uncle Sam a dime when you withdraw it. Step 4. Don't forget about diversification. You've probably heard the phrase, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket." That's diversification. The wealthy 1% live by it. The average investor ignores it until a crash wipes them out. With $1,000, you won't be buying real estate in downtown Manhattan, but you can still diversify. Index funds do it automatically by spreading your money across hundreds of companies. When Jake, a coworker of mine, put his first $1,000 into a single hot tech stock, he felt brilliant when it doubled in 6 months. But when the company tanked, his $1,000 turned into $300. Meanwhile, Eric, another coworker, invested the same $1,000 in a diversified ETF. His returns weren't flashy, but his money grew steadily over time. Guess who's calmer today? Step 5. Think about alternative investments once you're ready. Now, I'm not saying throw your first $1,000 into these, but once you've got the basics, there are other fun ways to invest. Fractional real estate. Platforms like Fundrise let you own pieces of real estate projects with as little as $500. Peer-to-peer lending. You lend small amounts to borrowers online and earn interest. Crypto, cautiously. If you want to dip your toes into Bitcoin or Ethereum, only put in money you can afford to lose. Step 6. The emotional side of investing. Here's the part no one tells you. Investing is as much emotional as it is financial. When you see your $1,000 dip to $900, your gut reaction will scream, "Sell before I lose more." When it jumps to $1,200, you'll think, "I'm a genius, I should put everything in." That's normal. But the people who win in investing are the ones who stay steady. They don't let emotions drive decisions. They stick to their plan. Step 7. Build the habit, not just the portfolio. Your first $1,000 isn't the finish line. It's the starting line. The real magic happens when you keep adding to it. Set up an automatic $50 or $100 transfer every month into your investment account. That turns investing into a habit, not a one-time event. Mistakes to avoid. With your first $1,000, I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't warn you about the traps beginners fall into. 1. Chasing hot tips. If your barber, Uber driver, or random YouTube video is telling you to buy something, it's probably too late. 2. Day trading. With $1,000, you won't outsmart professional traders, and fees or taxes will eat you alive. The big picture. Here's what I want you to remember. It's not about making your $1,000 double overnight. It's about learning, practicing, and setting yourself up for bigger wins later. Final thoughts. So, what should you do with your first $1,000? Build your foundation, set your goal, choose simple tools like index funds or Robo-Advisors, diversify, and, most importantly, start. Don't let fear or overthinking paralyze you. The first $1,000 isn't about getting rich. It's about getting started. It's about teaching yourself that you're the kind of person who invests, who builds for the future, who takes action while others procrastinate. So here's my challenge to you. Take the leap. Invest that first $1,000. Let it be the seed of something much bigger. And if you found this guide helpful and want more real, down-to-earth money advice without the jargon, make sure to subscribe. Your financial future is waiting. Don't leave it hanging.